day to you all. If you would please put your palms together for a meditation reading. Sometimes I can't help the feeling that I'm living a life of illusion. And oh, why can't we let it be and see through the holes in this wall of confusion? I just can't help this feeling I'm living a life of illusion. Verse 1, A Life of Illusion by Joe Walsh, member of the musical group Eagles. If you would please join me in Gasho. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. I have encountered many people who want to become a Buddhist or want to know more about Buddhism. They have the illusion or misconception that Buddhism will better their lives, and it may or may not. They have their family's religious traditions, but find it unsatisfactory to their present principles. Many of these people have a deceptive impression that Buddhism can make their problems disappear instantly, and they carry the stereotype that every Buddhist is always a happy camper. Even though we call ourselves a Buddhist, we are like any other person. We too live in a state of illusion. We live with anger, hatred, greed, impatience, ego, and in ignorance. Our lives depend on how we use and see these external influences. They may include material wealth, peers, thought processes, self-interpretation, and so forth. We can call these experiences. However, our reality is characterized by our ignorance and self-attachments to falsehoods that we perceive. This way of thinking can lead to human suffering. We only believe that we have a deeper knowledge of our true self. But do we really know our true self? Have you ever questioned how our greed, anger, and ignorance can lead itself to our suffering? Have you ever stopped and seen how many times our ego pushes its way into our path of awakening? Paraphrasing a verse of the song, A Life of Illusion, the verse states that nature loves to surprise us, and at that very moment, it seems so logical. Yet, these little surprises come without any warning, and it can cause a continual crisis. We have a choice of accepting these surprises or ignoring them, particularly when we do not like them. When everything is going well, we tend to push the bad things away. However, time to time, those unpleasant surprises show up, and our true self shows up with it. It may come through as anger, hatred, jealousy, and/or envy. It is important to understand that Jodo Shinshu is to be experienced within oneself. It is important to experience the incomprehensible state of oneness with Amida Buddha in the here and now. This is ridding ourselves of stereotypes, discrimination, sexism, racism, and any other isms. Yet, are we even conscious of our illusions and beliefs? Although it is important to hear, listen, and learn of the teachings, it is not all based on an academic knowledge and understanding. It is to question ourselves, to think and truly hear. It is how we hear the teachings and experience the action of these teachings that we begin to truly know ourselves. It takes our strength to want to hear and to entrust. We may then be able to awaken or realize who and what we truly are. You, and this includes me, live in illusion. There is that part of ourself that has desires, want only the good things and times. We tend to push the bad experiences deep, deep in our memory. We believe that we cannot truly see our true self. And yes, it is scary to awaken to that side of us that is filled with so many blind passions. Yet, do we refuse to understand our true self out of laziness, ego, or just a simple reason of not wanting to know? We may not like what our true self is, for we are all bonbo. We are foolish beings, common mortals, passion-ridden beings that live in an unenlightened life and in a state of illusion. Yet our awakening to the true self, we can change. We need not feel alone in this journey, for all beings also live in a state of illusion. As long as one is not awakened, we will continue to live in a borrowed self and remain lost in the illusion of life. We make self-calculations through our self-centered mind and use man-made moral and ethical assessments of our true selves. These assessments tell us what is good or evil, or what is right and wrong. It can create doubt that one can truly see the true self. It is a difficult journey to take because we think of ourselves as always right, and it is putting our trust in the working of a formless Buddha and the teachings. Yet, Buddha is everywhere and is in everything. The teachings are merely words, yet in the words lies truth. We continue to live with illusions, but to truly awaken, realize, or entrust is what Shinran would call the most difficult of difficulties. Jodo Shinshu is not only to know and understand the teachings and Nembutsu, but for the individual to experience what is. In the book Thoughts Expressed 2 by James Iwata, he shares the example of the garbage can. If we think of the true self as a garbage can, we may get a better idea of what our true self is. A garbage can is a receptacle that we put trash, waste, and garbage in. After a while, this yuck begins to emit a foul smell and stench due to decomposition. If we cover this can with the lid, we do not have to see nor smell the odor. Our true self is actually like this garbage can. This can is where we throw our trash, unpleasantness, things we do not want to hear or see. We are hiding our contaminated mind beneath it. We try to push this lid off, but there is a heavy weight of blind passions of greed, anger, ignorance, and ego that prevents us from pushing the lid off our can. Yet, it is our true entrusting in the teaching, Buddha, and Namu Amida Butsu, Nembutsu, that we can eventually push this lid off. It is not our power or self-power that will lift the lid, but the true entrusting of Buddha's compassion and wisdom and our Namu Amida Butsu or other power. We tend to be caught up in endless illusions and justifications, and they are manufactured out of falsehoods that we hold as truths. However, our true self may one day arise from this experience of awakening, realization, or freedom from illusions. It is then we can pull the lid off. We may not like what comes out, but we can then take the first step in changing that self. Are we too afraid of what may be under our lid? Our Namu Amida Butsu, Nembutsu, and the teachings are one. We entrust in the guidance and direction of Nembutsu and what we learn from it. Our true entrusting can push away illusions. When we see the truth, then we can say we are living a Nembutsu life with a true heart and mind. If you would please put your palms together in Gasho. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.